Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and we've got a puzzle called Low Tide by Schwupel today. I'm looking forward to having a go at that. There's a bit more German whispers in it after yesterday where, well, the German whispers wasn't my problem. It was Sudoku that was the difficult thing for me. So let's see if we can improve on that today. And don't forget, on Patreon, just 2 or 3 days old, the Snack Doku challenge from the Skunk Works, curated by Panthera. Fantastic set of 100 4x4 puzzles that you can do every single one of. Loads of correct entries in. Very well done to those who've done that. Do join us on Patreon. We welcome you there. It's a great Sudoku club, and the best $2 or $3 a month you can spend, in our opinion. It would be. Now, you can also spend a very small amount of dollars or pounds or euros or anything on our apps as well, which have 100 puzzles each, apart from the gas ones, which have 60. Do check those out on the links under the video. And there's our merchandise, including lots of holiday-themed stuff. There's Sven's Sudoku Pad. There's links to the Discord server, all sorts of stuff going on. But the first link is to this puzzle, Low Tide by Schwupel. I'm guessing low tide because it looks like a bit of seaweed washed up on the beach here. Is that right? I don't know. Let us know, Schwupel. Now, what are the rules? They are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we'll be putting 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Now, we have some very strange cages. Let's do the lines first. Adjacent digits on a green line must differ by at least 5. So in these two cells, you could have 1 and 9, or 4 and 9, or 2 and 8, but you couldn't have 3 and 7, because the difference isn't big enough. Now, cages here, these are very unusual cages. They must contain an equal number of low digits, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and high digits, 6, 7, 8, 9. They must also contain an equal number of even digits and odd digits. Digits can repeat in cages. I repeat, digits can repeat in cages, but the cages cannot contain 5. I mean, this is fascinating. So we've got to match the number of high and low digits and the number of odd and even digits in each cage. I note with relief that every cage is an even number of cells large, which I suppose is a corollary to that rule. Do give it a try. It promises to be very interesting. We've featured Schwupel a few times on the channel before. They're brilliant. I am going to restart my clock and say, let's get cracking. So, where do we start with this? Well, let's run through the tiny bits of rules that we have about German whispers. Oh yeah, one of them is going to be very important, and that is that 5 can't appear on a green line. It can't have a neighbour that satisfies the rule. Also, 4 and 6 only have one possible neighbour, so they can never be anywhere that sees, well, that has 2 neighbours that see each other. So none of those digits can be 4 or 6, I think. I mean, that may help or it may not. And the third rule is that digits must alternate between high and low, meaning higher than 5 and lower than 5 on a green line. Now, 5 is not allowed in cages. That's one of the rules. So one of these is a 5. Then basically 5 isn't therefore allowed in cages or on lines. So let's try and pick off some places. Look, there's a 5 in one of those 3. It's not. Here's a column. Here's a column where we can place 5. Right. For some reason I was looking at rows and boxes, but not columns there. Maybe because there was only one really good column for me to look at. 5's obviously in one of those 2 and one of these 3. After that, it doesn't. I mean, I could mark those 3, I might as well. Yeah, I mean, I may have run out of juice on the 5s there straight away, which is a shame. Because I don't really know how I'm going to get into this puzzle apart from 5s. Oh, okay, there's a little bit of interest remaining in 5s, actually. If there was a 5 in one of those 2 positions, there'd have to be a 5 in one of those 2 in box 2. Then that becomes a 5, and that becomes a 5. and now this one can't be. So I can take 5 out of that cell. I don't know, that was a bit lucky. I doubt that I can do that anywhere else. It does reduce 5 to one of these two, but it doesn't actually place any 5, so maybe I won't get overexcited about that. So let's colour this whisper between, I'm going to say high and low, but I don't know which is which. So I'm going to use green and purple instead of blue and orange, which would actually, yeah, okay, that's interesting. We've got 3 of one sort in that row and 3 of one sort in that row. Now what does that mean for us? Unfortunately, both rows have one candidate cell that could be the 4 or 6, the monogamous digit there and there. Okay, there's another thing I've thought about this cage and the main rule that cages must contain an equal number of low digits and high digits and also an even number of even and odd digits. I think that means that this yellow area is a de facto cage as well. Because if these contain 3 of one, well, yeah, I think basically you can match up low odd digits with even high digits, and they must occupy a cage together. I presume that's right. Anyway, given that there are two high even digits, 2 high odd digits, 2 low even digits and 2 low odd digits, whatever's missing from those 8 cells from this cage, I think they must be a matching pair and be in yellow. So yellow is like another cage, but I mean, it doesn't solve me anything. It just seems to be true to me. I've got to use this stuff, this purple and green stuff. How do we use that? These two can't be the same color if it was green. This is one of each, this yellow area, so that doesn't tell me any. Ah, so it includes the 4th purple. Okay, that is quite interesting. This yellow area, let's actually give it a sort of a part color system. That's one of each. So one of those is effectively green and one is purple. That's going to use up the 4 purples in the row, and these are all green now. Ah, that's good. Right. Now, how many greens can we put in this area? We've only got 1 more allowed in the box. So that one must be in here with 2 purples. I'm only trying to divide the grid into high and low, and that's without even knowing which is which. But I'm trying to divide the grid into green and purple, and they are contrasting high and low in some arrangement. What I am finding out here is that only one of these can be green, but given that 2 of these in this cage are green and 2 are purple, then 1 green must be here and another green must be here. And this must include 2 purple and a green, and this is purple. Everything else that isn't a 5 in this cage is purple, so that's purple. Now these 2 are green because they're 1 away on the whisper. And now, yes, look at that. These 2 are going to be the same because they're both different from that. And now they can't be green. So this is working. We get purple there and green there. This, in a cage, a 2-cell cage, has to be 1 purple and 1 green. I have to have equal numbers of green and purple. Oh, look, now I'm tempted to think green isn't low, because if it was, all of these will be purple. But that is possible. That is possible because then these 3 could be green and the numbers for this 6-cell cage would be okay. Okay, let's look at this 6-cell cage. There's a purple digit. Well, no, hang on. There's no more than 1 green in that area. Therefore, there's no more than 1 purple in that area. Is that interesting? It's almost interesting. There's at least 2 greens in this area. I don't know how to pencil mark that, but it's true. And if those were green, that would be all the greens done in the row. This is complicated to me. I haven't established which colour is which polarity. These two are. Okay, what did I just say? I said that at least two of these are green. That's based on the notion that at least two of these are purple, which is true. So at least two of these are green. But there's one green in there and one green in there, and one purple in each of them, of course. But that means that exactly two green and two purple exist here. And exactly two purple and one green exist here. I don't know how to pencil mark this. I'd love a way of doing that so that, you know, I could mark that green and purple and know that's two green and one purple. But this is one green and two purple. Anything that's not a 5 here is definitely purple. Anything that's not a 5 here is also definitely purple. Now, two of these are green. It is exactly two. So if those are green, that's purple. Ah, let's think about the... Oh, no, these two are the same. And these two are different, these two are different. That's going to use up 4 of whatever is the same. Let's call this blue and that yellow. These are 1 each of yellow and blue each. So that's all the blues used up. And anything that's not a 5 here is yellow, including that cell. Now, come on, getting close to thinking something here. I don't know quite what. If yellow and purple were the same colour, that would be all 4 of them used up in column 4. Yeah, no. I was going to say that's... Oh my... Okay, I found a way that this is impossible. This is brilliant. Is this right? I think this is right. Okay, imagine purple and yellow were the same. Now, this cell would have to be... It can't be purple, yellow, because there's 4 of them used up in the column. It can't be blue, because all 4 are used up in the box. Ah, so it becomes a 5. Okay, this doesn't do what I thought it did. I thought that was going to be 5, and that was going to be 5, and we can't put a 5 there. Bother. No. No, I thought I'd found a brilliancy, but no, I've just found an error. By me. Now in this row we've had all 4 greens used up, so anything that's not a 5 is purple. This is 1 of each on this. I can't do it on this line. This box. Oh, there's maximum 1 green in these cells. So for those to be green, I don't know. No, that doesn't do anything. I don't know. I feel like I can almost see my way through this, but not quite. So in rows 8 and 9, we've got 1 of each there, 1 of each there, 1 of each there, 1 of each there. That's not that interesting, actually. Still leaves 4 of the various colours. What about this cage? If I... No, there is a 4th green to go in this box, but I don't know where it goes. Gosh, I can't see... Oh, one of those is a 5, so that's not a 5. That's been obvious from the start. Um... 5 in row 8 is in definitely one of those 2 positions. So if that's a 5, that's a 5. No, it doesn't do anything. If that's 5, that's 5, that's 5. That's 5, that's 5, that's 5, that's 5, that's 5. It looks all too plausible. Oh goodness, what am I meant to be thinking then? This pair doesn't look very interesting yet. I just don't think I know anything about it. One of these is purple. Crumbs, there must be a way through this. So if one was green, all of these would be purple. So that would be green. These would all be green. So we'd have got all of those would have gone green if one was green, if these were low. That would have used up all the greens in row 7. So that would become green as well. Oh, maybe I'm just not thinking about the odd-even thing enough. That's a weird concept. Why should I have to think about odd and even at this point? I can't think why. Gosh, I'm getting nowhere on this. Okay, let's go back to thinking about yellow and purple being the same. I'm just noticing, no, I'm not, that's not right. Purple and yellow can't be the monogamous digit, but, or sorry, that and that can't be the monogamous digit. That one could be. So if purple and yellow are the same, that's a 5. There's a 5 there and a 5 there. And there and there. And there and there. And in one of those two. Okay, well that's a different disposition of 5s. Now, we're speculating that purple and yellow are the same under this arrangement. And then blue and green are the same. And that's 4 bluey greens in row 7. So that's going to go purple. I just can't see what's going on. Gosh, I'm going to have to find something else. Sorry, I can't pick my way through this at all. Got 1 digit in the grid early on. I've got nothing else since. Why am I meant to know anything about these? Those two are both non-monogamous digits. So they could be from 1, 2, 3 or from 7, 8, 9. My goodness. Can you see what's happening here? I am really struggling to work out how we're meant to make any progress. Right, this must include 3 yellows and a blue. We've already got 3 yellows there, 1 each in those places is 5. No, not interesting yet. Can't be those two. Don't see how I can get anything out of those. Is it 5s? Am I really just missing something on 5s? I don't think I am. 5s in box 5. I mean, I could pencil mark those, but it might turn out to just confuse me rather than helping. These given digits don't seem to be doing anything, even though 8's in a cage there. All that tells me is that somewhere in this cage there is a low digit and an odd digit, probably embodied in the same one. That's not interesting. Okay, let's just calm down and rethink. Right, one of these is green. The other one is a 5. If that was green, that would be all 4 greens in row 2. Those would both be purple. In fact, all of these cells would now be purple. Those would both be purple. These would all be green. But there doesn't have to be a green in these cells. 5 and 1. I feel this column must be important, but I can't quite see how to use it. Really not getting on well here. Oh, what's happening, Shwoopel? Why can't I see how to do this? If that's a 6, it doesn't do anything for me. Right, there is a green up there, which is not the green in here. Now, I need to find which of green and purple is high and low. There must be a way of finding that out, and I'm just not coming across it, not thinking laterally enough, not thinking hard enough, maybe. So we've got one green and 2 purples here. We've got 2 greens here and 1 purple. If blue was green, then yellow would be purple. And that is very constraining. That one would have to be a 5. This one would not be a 5, and so would not be the blue-green. That would be yellow-purple. So this would be a 5. That's a 5, that's a 5. That's a 5. I've done this all before. That one, I don't know, maybe I haven't. One of those two, that one and that one. They would all be 5s. I have done exactly this before. I just came at it from a different angle at the start. Wow, no, I just can't see where we're going here. What is the way to look at this? 2 of the same there. So these are 1 blue and 3 yellow. Is that it? So at least 2 of these are yellow. Is it that simple? Is it really that simple? Because the 2 blues are there, at least 2 of these are yellow. It could be 3 or it could be 2. That is it. So that yellow can't be green because there will be 5. I'm sorry that's taken so long. Right, so yellow can't be green. Blue is green. So we will switch blue for green and we will switch yellow into being purple. And at least we've got this box partly populated and in a good way, in a helpful way. 2 greens there. We know there are 2 greens there. That's 4 greens. Everything that's not 5 in this row is purple. So those 2 are purple. That goes green. This has taken me far too long to get to this point. Right, at least one of these is purple. How can it have taken this long? I don't know. Anyway, we've got these. We've got the 4 purples down here, and here we are. This cell now sees 4 purples in the column, 4 greens in the box. So I worked this out conditionally earlier. Now I can actually work it out definitely. So that gives me a 5 down here. That also makes one of those definitely a 5, so that isn't. That gives me 5 in box 3 and box 6. These 2 are now both purple, definitely. Have we got any other 5s? That's not a 5. So this is a 5 in row 7. So that fixes 5 here. It takes some contenders out. Right. And we're left with these pairs. Now, what else has that done? Come on, Mark. Let's actually flog this horse forward and get somewhere. We've got green. We know what this is now because there's 1 green in there. That's purple. We know what this is because there is 1 purple and 2 greens in here. And greens in all of those. So that's purple. 1, 2, 3 purples in the column. I want 4s, people. Yeah, come on now. Let's get this moving. Again, this is 2 purples and a green. Let's find plate. Right, in this column we've got the 4 purples and the 5. Everything else is green. There we go. So that's finished off all the greens in this box and in this row. That is much more important, the row. So that's purple. This is green in the box. 5 and a purple here. 1 purple and 1 green here, just like up here. This one is a known colour. We've got 2 greens, 3, 4. That's purple. I could have done that from the row or the box. 1 of each here, 1 of each here. Now, what about this box? We've got 2 more purples and a green. Now, where else is shouting to be done? Ah, no, I know that one of those is green and one is purple. I know that that's purple and white. Ah, these 2 see 4 greens. They're all purple. That's all 4 purples in box 5. Sorry, I know you're doing this quicker than I am, but that's because you're smart. 3 greens there. 2 purples here. This is green and white. This is green and double purple. So we've got 3 greens and 3 purples. This pair is 1 of each. Ah, and this pair is 1 of each. So both of these cells are different from that one. So we'll go back to our blue and yellow notation in case that helps. These 2 are the same. Oh, they almost can't be purple from the column. In the box, if they're green, that's... in this row, we've got 3 greens, purple and I don't know. I don't know whether this is blue, yellow, green or purple. If green is yellow, this is bluey purple and so is 1. But if purple is yellow, then that's 3 of each, and this is high. That's such a weird pair of conclusions. It's taken ages to get this far. Right, come on. Let's just crack on and get this done. 3 green, 2 purple, and a 1, which is an unknown. It's unknown for its green or purpleness. Let's put it that way. Purple, purple. Now, what's going on down here? We need 1 green and 2 purples here. And that's all the remaining purples. No. Yes, it is. In the cage, we need 2 more purples. That's going to use up all the purples. These are all green suddenly. So, up this column, we've got greens there and there. Three greens and 2 purples, definite. 3 cells still to discover. Oh, goodness. It's so tough to keep thinking in these terms. And I mean, I've only considered one aspect of these cages, which is high and low, and I still don't know which colour is high and which is low. I haven't thought about odd even at all. Maybe that's my problem, but I don't even know how to begin thinking about that yet. So I'm still postponing that. Now, what about these? Look, purple, 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 and a purple there. 4 purples, see that cell, and so do 4 greens, so that's a 5. Right. So I can colour these last 2. That one's purple, and this one's green. And I could have coloured, I could have coloured that from this row, because that's 1 of each. Oh yeah, but I didn't know when it was a 5. Okay, that's fine. That's 1 of each, we know that. Has this done anything at all? It really hasn't. 3 of each there. Goodness gracious. I'm still wondering about this column and whether that could be green. I suppose if it was, this would be 2, 3, 4. This would be 2, 3, 4. That would be a 1. That doesn't seem to do anything, but it's a new way of thinking about it for me. If purple was high, that would be 6, 7, and 9. Where would 8 go? 8 would go in this cage. That's not very interesting. Right, come on. We've got some more colouring done than I thought I could do before. So, how are we going to figure this one out? One of those is the low digit. Or is the monogamous green digit. That's not very helpful. One of those is the monogamous purple digit. This is 1 of each. We've got, what about this? Do we really not know anything about this? 3 greens and 2 blues in the row. 1 green and 2 purples to go. Okay, if that was green, it would be the last green in the column. 1 would be purple. all of those would be purple. All of those would be purple. That would be green. Do I know? I mean, the trouble is I don't know which way up these green and purple pairs are. So in this row, we've got 2 greens and a purple, 1 of each there. That's 3 greens and 2 purples. I don't think that's telling me anything, those rows. I mean, I stand to be corrected, but I can't see how it's helping. There must be another foursome somewhere that I just can't even see the power of. If those are green, both of these are purple and 1 is also purple. So if those are purple, that's green and 1 is purple. If those are green, what? Is that right? If these are purple, that's green and that's 4 greens in this column and 1 goes purple. But if those are green, that's 4 greens in the box and 1 goes purple. 1 is always purple. That is so confusingly... I mean, is that easy? It doesn't feel it to me. It feels very, very hard. But anyway, we now know that purple is low, so they are going to go dark blue. My traditional colour for low. Green is going to go orange for high. Now, that still hasn't told me about these wretched 3, but blue is low. And so here we have 8, which is now definitely high. But it goes with another high and a low. So I was hoping to find that that was the only one of its kind in that threesome, and it really isn't. In this column, we've got 3 high. Oh, it doesn't do it. Right, these 2 are different in this row now, because we've got 3 blue. So those 2 are different, so that's bright blue. Those 2 are the same. I should change bright blue, or I'll get a blue confusion. Let's make them bright green instead, I suppose. Don't tell me this hasn't solved at least the colouring of the grid, but it hasn't. I mean, I was very proud of that deduction. Okay, come on, think about it. Where does... See, 1 must be in one of those cells in box 6 and one of those in box 5, obviously. Now, I was going to say that rules 1 out of these, but in fact, there is a rule that digits can repeat in cages. In fact, if a digit doesn't repeat in this cage now, I will be very disappointed because the rule is very cruel then. I suppose this digit, one of these oranges, could repeat here. Because we do have another orange to put in here now. One of these, at least, is blue. But it depends on whether that's blue, whether the other one is. This is one of each, that's one of each. It's just not getting me anywhere. Oh, I'd like to laugh at myself, but it's not that funny. 1 is in one of those 2 cells in this box. So in row 9, it's somewhere there. That's totally uninteresting. Well, we know what's high. That's 7, 8 or 9, because it can't be 6, because they can't both be 1. I don't know. We can't have a 6 on that. That's totally uninteresting. These are... That is 2, 3 or 4, but it can't be 4. Oh, it can't be 3 either, because that would be an 8-9 pair and clash with that. That's interesting. Why don't I think it can be 1? Because I've got 1 in one of those cells. Okay, that's good. That's a 2. Gosh, we have to do numbers. So that's a 7-9 pair. 6 is in one of these cells, along with 8 and a low digit. 7 and 9 are both in this box. Does that mean 1 and 3 both have to be in this box, in this cage? Yes, because we need, well, does it? I need to think a bit more clearly about that. Could you have, we have to have 2 low digits in this part of the cage. We also have to have 2 odd digits. But the odd one might be another high one, like 7 or 9. No, it couldn't be, because then we'd need... Right, this is weird. This is just such a weird thing to think about. Could the third one be high? Sorry, could the third high digit be odd? I think the answer is no. Because then you would... Oh no, you'd need 3... low even digits. Right, that's true. The third high digit can't be odd because these 4 are all different, and you'd be left needing 3 low even digits which don't exist. So the third high digit in this cage is even, is an 8 or a 6. And then the low digits in this cage must include 2 odds and an even. That's right, isn't it? I think that has to be right. The third high digit can't be odd, so the third high digit is even. And then the 3 low digits include 2 odds and an even. The 2 odds have to be different. They're 1 and 3. So there is a 1 in this cage, and it's there. Right. And that 1 is blue, and that might get something done. It does. 3 blues in this column make yellow into orange, make green into blue. And now, well, that's still 1 of each. That's very annoying. Don't tell me this doesn't get... This is 3 or 4 by Sudoku. So that's 8 or 9 by Whisper Rules. This one doesn't have to be odd because we are going to get a low digit that's even. In fact, well, I'm just going to write 2, 3 or 4. One of these is a high odd, a high even. Don't know for sure. Could be a high odd digit. No, it can't, because we can't have 3 even lows. Yeah, okay. So it's... No, I've gone completely wrong. I've assumed... No. Go back, Mark. Why did I think a 1 had to be in this cage? I need 2 even digits. I need 2 and 4 to be in this cage. Not odds. Not 1 and 3. Because those 2 are high and odd. Then the 3 low digits here need to include 2 even ones. So they need 2 and 4 in. That is a very different kettle of fish, and a very annoyingly different kettle of fish. So this is 1 or 3. And this is high and even, 6 or 8. And this doesn't feel like as powerful a... I know 1 is in one of those 2 cells, still that's just Sudoku. This is much less powerful than I was thinking. Now, these are 6 and 8, and therefore the 2 low odd digits, 1 and 3. So these are 4 and 2, and I can fill those in. Oh, is that how to do it? So this is 1 or 3. And in its cage, it needs a high even digit, 6 or 8. And that's a pair now. So are 7 and 9 there, or are they there? I don't know. This is so weird. That is 1 or 3 by basically Sudoku. If that was a 3, that's an 8-9 pair. That would have to be 7 with 1 there, well, with a 1-2 pair here. And that would be 4. And that would be 4. In fact, one of these two is 4. And this is now 2 or 3. This is such a confusing puzzle. One of these is 2. So in fact, that is 2, sorry. So now the low digit on this one is 3 or 4. Going with a 9, because we've used up 8 somewhere here. So there is a 9 there, along with 3 or 4. Here there's a 7 in one of those two. It's just weird. This puzzle is absolutely head-wrecking. It's taken me ages as well. Right, 4 and 2 are in this group. Right, now 4 isn't in one of those cells. 2 isn't there. 4 is now definitely in one of these two. That's not very interesting. Yes, it is, because it stops this being a 4. Well, it's a bit interesting. Gosh, that's such a weird puzzle. 2 is in one of those cells. That's worth pencil marking just in case it means something in a bit. 1, 3. We've got 1, 3, and 4. This is not 1 or 2. That is 3 or 4. It can still be 3. No, it can't. It's in an... No, yes, it can. It's in a low cell. That's not an even cell. 3, 7, 9 would need 3 evens here, and that's possible. They would include 2 and 4. Yeah, that's fine. That would put a 4 here. It would definitely make this a 9. Okay, as it is, we can still have another 1 in this. This is so weird that there can be repeat digits in a cage. It really doesn't sit well with my brain, which is struggling enough anyway. Okay, come on. What next? Is this how we're meant to do it, or am I just going totally the wrong way? One of those is a 2. I can see that. Now, one of those 2 is also a 4, because that can't be a 4. So that's actually a 2-4 pair. And that places 4 in box 5. Now I've got a 1-3 pair in this box. Okay. That is 2 or 4. If it's a 4, that's a 9. That is 1 or 3. If that's a 3, that's an 8-9 pair. And that's a 1, and that would be 7 or 6. If that's a 3, this is an 8-9 pair. So that is 8 or 9 either way round, because it's seeing a 3. The other of 8 or 9 is in one of those, and that is therefore 6 or 7. There's a digit up there that is either 2 or 4. And its counterpart, which is a high odd digit, because that was a de facto cage we worked out earlier on. So we've got 2 or 4 and 7 or 9 in those cells. But these can't be a 6-8 pair because of that. But one of them is 6 or 8 because of the 7-9 pair. And one of them is 7 or 9. I don't know how to use that information. Yes, I do. One of these is 6 or 8, and that's 6 or 8. So one of these is high and is 7 or 9 and is a repeat digit. And I think that's impossible because that requires us to use 3 evens. No, it's... Yes, yes, this is important. Right. One of those is 6 or 8 because 7 or 9 is up there. And that's also 6 or 8. So these can't be 6 or 8, but we do need a third high digit in this cage that is even, and that's got to go here now. That's extraordinary. That is absolutely not what I was expecting. That is 6 or 8, is the third high digit. These are both even now, and finally we get that this digit is orange, is high, is 9. Let's be brutally honest, it's 9. These two are low. Right, the 9 goes in there. That's 3 or 4. The 7 is now here because that's the high digit, and that's not. This is 3 or 4. So that has become a 1. That has become high because we've got the 4 odds, the 4 lows in the column. That is 7 or 9. This is low, 2 or 4. This, we know the colour of, it's orange. This is blue. Only got a few colours left to do. In fact, no, we've got these ones still to do. Oh, well, never mind about that for now. Right, 6 and 8. Oh, no, I don't know if it's there. Which one of these was the 6 or 8? But 9 is there, so that's not 9. This is 6, 7 or 8, obviously. 9 is in one of those two cells. I'm finding this so hard. Those aren't 1, so that's a 1 now. These are from 2, 3, 4, and one of them's 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. These are from 6, 8, 9. So that digit is going here, 7. So 7 is now in one of these cells, along with a low even digit, which has to be 2. These are 6 and 3 or 4. I'm not going to say I know what those are yet. This is low. I don't know what it is. 7 goes here in box 5. That's a 6, 8, 9 triple. These are from 2, 3, 4. That's not interesting. 7 is in one of those two, so it's not there. That's a 9. We get a 7 here. That 9 rules 9 out of there. It puts 9 in one of these two cells, which we could have known anyway. That's 6, 7 or 8. Now, here we've got 2 low. Oh, look, 7 is looking up at that cell. That's a 9. This is 6, 7 or 8. I mean, that's not 7, so it's 6 or 8. I so feel like I haven't got a grip on this puzzle in any way, even now. Even with lots of digits filled in and some progress everywhere. Right, these include 7 and 9. This is 1, 2 or 3. It can't be a 4 because its neighbours see each other. One of these is a 1 in this row. So those are from 2, 3, 4. That's not very useful unless we suddenly get some gathering down here. What about this stuff? 2, 7, 5, 8. Right, 9 has to be in this cage along with a low even digit. 2 or... well, it can't be 2. So that's a 4, 9 cage. This is 1 or 3. 2, 7, 4, 9, 8, 5. These are, oh, well, 1 has to be here because of that. This is a 6 and a 3. Now, what's going on here? We've got 3, 6, 8. That is 2 high even, and one of their counterparts, 1 low odd. But up here, we've got to have a 1. So 1, 3, 6, and 8 are all in the cage and are all acting as each other's counterparts. But then, oh, no, I don't know. The other 2 up here are counterparts of each other. That's so confusing. I don't know how to parse that. There's no 1 in those cells. There's no 9 in that cell. So we've placed 9 in box 7, weirdly. That can't be 4, so we've placed 4 down here. I could have done that from all sorts of other things earlier. This is a 2-3 pair that I can fill in, thanks to the 2-7 over here. Now 3 can't be in those cells. I mean, none of this, everything seems to just be tidying up something I could have seen earlier, rather than actually advancing the solve at all. Let's take out some of these corner marks. This is 6, 7, 8. Of course, that's simple. This is a 9. And that's not. Now, we've got 1 high odd digit, so at least one of those is even. That doesn't advance us at all. Ah, but it puts 4 in the corner. I can colour that. And that one, 4 sees those cells that aren't 4s. There's a 4 in one of those 2. And a 4 in one of those 2. That's not a big conclusion. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4 orange. Right, that's blue. It could be any number, couldn't it? 1, 3, or 4. No, we've just decided it can't be 4. So that's 1 or 3. So this is, I was going to say this is the 1, 3, 8, 6, and these 2 are counterparts of each other, but that could be a pair of 3s involved. That repeating rule is so complicated to me. Right, come on, come on. One of those is a 7. Now, the whispers, what? If that was a 7, that can't be a 3. Ah, one of those is a 3. So one of these 2 is an 8. Look at those whisper connections. That's right. One of those 3 is a 3, so one of those 2 is an 8, so that's a 6. Gosh. I mean, that had to be squeezed out. So they can't have an 8. So they can't have a 6. That is now 8. That's 6. Oh, that's not on the whisper. None of those are 6. So the high digit here is another 6 to go with the 6 down here. Along with, I don't know, 1, 3, or 4. I don't know which, but I do know that there are a pair of 6s in those cells. So the 6 in column 8 has to be here at the top. This is mental. That can't be a 1. That can't be a 1. And that's getting interesting on the whisper, is it? No, not really. All I know is if there is a 7 there, that's a 2. If that's a 3, that's an 8-9 pair. Ah, if that's a 3, that would be 2, 4, and that would be 7. That's exactly how that cage should be filled. It would be lovely to know one of those had to be a 3, then that would be an 8. And that would leave this being 2, 7, and 9. I don't see what the problem with that is. Frustration strikes again. I mean, I feel we're getting there now, but it's just inching. Now, okay, let's think about this crazy cage again. It's definitely got a repeat digit, and that repeat digit is a 6. Has it got another one? It's got 3, 8, 6 in, 1, 6, and maybe another 3 as well. Or maybe a 4. I don't understand how to think about a cage with repeats in it. It blows my little brain. Oh look, there's a 2, 3 pair. So that's a 6. And that's a 3. And maybe the colouring will make me feel better. Maybe, yes, look, 4 orange in that column. So that's blue. Now, we needed to put a 6 here. So there it is. Now, what have we got here? That 3 is looking at that. That's a 2. And at that, that's a 4. This is 7 and that's 2. Is that the last bit of colouring to do? No, not quite. Blue, orange. How are we ever going to uncolour these? Oh, we're going to have to get the 1s and 6s above them. Now, that is 1 or 3 because it can't be 4. And yes, okay, this has fulfilled the brief in that cage. It looks like there's 2 repeat digits to me, which that is really just taking things to a cruel level. 1, 3. Now, this is a 4. This is a 1. That's a 4. That's a 2. That's probably been available for a while. 4, 2, 3. That's not a 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 8, or 9. Okay, we're going to have to whisper this out. Now, if that's a 3, that's an 8, 9 pair, 6 there and 7 there. If that's a 3, that's an 8, 9. Oh, this is the only place. Right, this can't be a 6 because it's touching a 2. That's the point. So that's an 8, 9 pair. There we go. 7, 6. 7 makes that into a 1. Then we get a 3 there. This is 7, that's 8. This can now be anything it likes, and it's become a 3. That's 8. I've left the wrong digits in there. Now, right, the 1 there is sorting out this pair, isn't it? 1 there, oops, 1 there, 6 there. The 6 has to go with a low digit, so let's colour these correctly. That's all the colouring done. And I think we've just got a few numbers to tidy up now, incredibly. And it feels like this puzzle has beaten me up senseless. But I think this is right now. It is correct. 1 hour. Few seconds under 1 hour. I mean, well done if you've got through that quicker. You must just be able to see your way through this sort of puzzle in a different way from me. I found that unbelievably confusing, virtually from beginning to end. And if you found my video unbelievably confusing from beginning to end, that is a disappointment. But it's possible. Thank you anyway for sticking with me and for watching, and we will be back with more Sudoku tomorrow. Bye for now.